Hello world. Let me lower the music volume a little bit more so I can hear you better, you can hear me better. We're all happy. All right, I think we're live, we're good to go. So Happy New Year, everyone. It's my first stream of 2021. So hopefully everyone had a nice and decent holiday season. It's been a difficult year for a lot of people, everyone really, around the world. So hopefully you were able to gather some peace and calm, and we are back doing the things we do. And in a way, 2021 also started off on a weird note. There were some really not pleasant things that happened yesterday, especially if you're stateside. But instead of festering, we can just laugh at ourselves. So that's what I'm doing here, taking my mind off and writing some casual code and see where I can go. So you're looking at my desktop, and that is not my car. It's actually Iron Man's car. It's coming. It's I think electric vehicles will be much bigger in 2021 than they ever were last year. So let's start. And welcome, folks, to Code It Live. Good afternoon, good evening if you're joining us from other parts of the world. I'm on East Coast time, and let's start. Now, this is Thursday. So every Thursday I do a show here called the Xamarin Thursdays. But I'm not quite ready yet with the latest look and feel, but I want to rename this. I want to open this up so we can have more guests. We can talk about more topics, more fun things we are doing. And pretty much everything that I do is with .NET, right? So I think we're going to just call it the .NET Dev Show, which you see in the title. So this will be all things .NET, but we are going to not just stick to Xamarin or .NET MAUI. We will talk about desktop stuff as well. We'll talk about testing. We'll talk about mobile development, obviously, but just opening the funnel so we can talk about more things than just Xamarin. So that's my plan for the year. We will have a lot more amazing guests to come and join me, help me code, because I'm really struggling at times. So we'll do some fun stuff as we see like major releases go by with .NET or other related technologies. So that's what we'll be doing. So let's start this morning with I think where I left off kind of last year. I am excited about this. It's mobile Blazor Bindings. So I have been a Xamarin developer for a long time. And yeah, sorry, you can hear my Alexa device saying it detects some motion at the front yard, but there are other people in the house. They can open the front door. This is something I'm excited about because if you are a web developer, this lets you bring in your Blazor skills, and you're still able to write either hybrid or more excitingly native mobile apps with Blazor. So this is the docs site from Microsoft. So I start there if you have never played with it. There are two things about this that I got a little excited when I saw the docs. So essentially you're writing native mobile apps here. They walk you through, like you could do, like I think the to-do app, the weather app, those are native apps, but then you can also build PWAs or progressive web apps, or you can build a hybrid app where you're using like web technologies to build native or kind of hybrid mobile apps that live in a shell. So they have docs for all of that. But the thing that I was trying to see is like how native can you get when you're writing things with Blazor Mobile Bindings. Like this is all experimental, so don't write production apps with it yet. Maybe this will be one thing that we get to do in .NET MAUI. So the goal is to open this up to not just Xamarin developers, but let the Blazor developers come in. There is hope with .NET MAUI also allowing C# with MVU pattern, and that's a thing that James Clancy and those engineers are playing around with. We're writing like declarative C#, and we're kind of defining our visual tree that way. But what I want to kind of get into is like what kind of native stuff can you do And there are two things here that got me interested. One is native controls. So essentially what they're doing here, and we have actually done some of this from a Telerik standpoint, where we make suites for Xamarin developers, and we actually have stuff for Blazor Mobile Bindings as well. And I'll show you really quick where we landed. Let me go to Xamarin and pull up our docs. I think we have about a dozen of our controls that you can now render through Blazor. So coming down here, Blazor Mobile Bindings. So yeah, about, I mean, some of them have like multiple nuances to the controls. So probably about 10 or so controls that we have that you can render now with Blazor. And behind the scenes, there's a little bit of magic going on. And this is kind of what I want to dive into. And also maybe try some like native API access today and see if I can get them to work. And yeah, I see the chat room filling up. Say hi, folks, and ask questions if I can answer anything, or if you can teach me anything, please chime in. Okay, so here's the magic. Behind every control that we are rendering, it's a wrapper, right? We are writing Blazor in the Razor syntax, but behind it are these two things. So there's the Blazor Mobile Bindings controls. Behind it, you may or may not always have this, but there is likely a Xamarin Forms control, because Blazor Mobile Binding is just sitting on top of Xamarin Forms, right? So there is likely a Xamarin Forms control, and if there's a Xamarin Forms control, there is also likely a native control underneath that, because that's what Xamarin Forms is. It's a binding, it's a wrapper. So when we say label, it renders the native label on iOS and the native label on Android, right? And so there's a text view and a UI label, and that's what they're talking about. So it looks like this is true for most of the Xamarin controls. There are some things like the style sheet control, like you can actually style Blazor mobile apps with CSS or Sass or less, and for those, like that just boils down to like XAML styles. There's no corresponding style sheet element obviously for Xamarin Forms. So I understand that, but the way they are doing this is a little awkward. So they're saying, like, if you have a button that you want to declare, don't just write the button in your markup right away. They're saying go find the corresponding element of the button, and then you have access. You may or may not have access to this, but you should have access, if it is a Xamarin Forms control, to a thing called native control that gives you access to all of the native control properties in case those were not exposed out to Blazor. So that's what I want to play with and see what I can do. I'll likely start with this piece of code, which I found kind of interesting and funny, and then we'll see where what else we can do. Like, does it work for Telerik bits, or is it just the generic controls that we are talking about? So let me pull up Visual Studio 2019. I just updated all of my bits yesterday, so hopefully, and the year is slowly getting started, so hopefully Visual Studio and all of the bits that Xamarin needs, iOS and Android, those are in place. Let me check. Yeah, stable. I updated last night. Up to date. Look at that. All good. I mean, I can go down to like the preview channels, then I'm sure there's a lot more bits that I can get. But this is good for now. All right, so this was a project that I was playing around. I think I did some of this on stream, actually. So this is a very, very simple kind of a Hello World solution. It is called Hello World. And the idea is to just bring down a list of posts from a RESTful endpoint and just show it in our app. Let me see. Music stopped for me. That's not good. Oh, it's playing. It's just a very ambient tune. Okay, so what I have here is I'm reaching out. I have a constants file here. I'm reaching out to this RESTful API. And I have, let me try to remember all of these things. Okay, I have a kind of a C# POCO object called posts, which kind of mimics what I'm getting back from the service. So I think I may have had it bookmarked. Yeah, this is the service. And when I'm going for posts, I'm literally going for this set of resources, and it gives you back stuff in Latin. So title, body, that's what I'm after. Okay. So this is my post, and I have a little manager class that knows HTTP client, and it knows that I need to make this an async and await, and I do a get async. So we are essentially making an HTTP get call to that RESTful endpoint, bringing it down, and then I deserialize it and I show it. I have a component here. Oh, this is funny. There was like a mono crash at some point and put in a JSON file. But anyways, like this is a file which just shows the title, and we are setting the post display property of that file from my Razor file, which is, this is the first page of my app, right? So it just says hello world, and then it iterates through all the posts, which I'm bringing them down in this code behind file. This is the razor.cs code behind file, and I'm doing a fetch and I'm getting the posts, and then I'm iterating through it. And for every post that I find, this is kind of the component model that Blazor Mobile Bindings, or Blazor, essentially wants you to code in. And this is very familiar to most web developers. I think it kind of looks a little React-ish, but it's fun. So we are repeating this component for every post. I think it's like 100 posts at max that we'll get. So that's it. So let me go ahead and run this and make sure this is good. iPhone 11 Pro, that should be fine. And here's my beautiful simulator. Yay! I'm still stuck on iPhone 11. I did not upgrade yet. Maybe I'll wait it out. I know the 12s are out and they're kind of cool, but yeah. So I'm sticking to the simulator for the phone that I have. Okay, so this still works, then that's good. So I got a hello world and I got a list of things that come down from the service, okay? So these are all, let's see, post list. This is all a label, okay. Maybe let's do stuff here. So that's a label. Let's go back to the docs and see what they did. All right, so here they have a stack layout. They have a label. They have a button, and they're getting to the native control of that button. Okay. Oh, they're just referencing that button. Okay, they are defining it in the markup. They're just referencing it. All right. Can I? Well, let's grab this button. What if I put a stack layout? Can I orient this horizontally? Yeah, there you go. So IntelliSense is working out. Okay, so in that I want to have this hello world first. Yeah, I don't know why this needs to be in a different line. There you go. All right, and now let's add that button. So just we have two buttons, or the text and the button next to each other. Not that. Give me this one. So let's go back and add this one. All right, so now we have a button. Let's call this the flip button. Text. Let's call it flip, because I want to flip the label. Let's see if that works. So on click, we have handle click. Why is it giving me a squiggly here? Because it doesn't find a reference. All right. Okay, so let me grab this one here. This is the code. Now, this is what I don't like, because what essentially we're doing is, like, I'm old, so I come from web forms background, and this is like spaghetti code where we mix up markup and code like too closely together, and that does not end well for testing needs. I like putting things in a different file, like doing a code behind and keeping it clean. Like with Xamarin, like we have learned to do MVVM, so we would ideally not want to have any code in a code behind at all. But in this case, like just for playing around with this, I'm going to go ahead and add this in. So that's what it does. So the code, this is saying, hey, this is markup. So let's bring this down. Why is everything moving off to the right? Let's move this a little bit more. There you go. And do that. There, now it's nicely aligned. Okay. So elements button, let's call this the flip button. We don't have a counter, so we don't need that. All right, but we do need the handle click. When that happens, we'll clean up. All right, so here's the test. Can I do a flip button? Oh, does it do IntelliSense? Yeah, native control, there you go. Now this one, they're doing a rotation. Let's see if I can get that. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so it actually does give you nice rotation, or IntelliSense. Okay, so rotate 360 probably just does a full flip, right? And then they reset that. Okay, that should work, right? Hopefully, yeah. I don't want comments. There you go. So what do we do? The button should show up now right next to the text, and it should flip the button. Okay, let's see if this builds. I actually wanted to flip the hello world text, but let's see if this builds, and then we'll try flipping the label. I want to see like where do we get the native property? Okay, it builds. Okay, let's run it. Chat room, you're quiet today. I'm lonely. So we have the flip showing up. Haha. Oh, this is fun. So when you flip that, do you see that? Let me make it bigger. Can I make it bigger? There you go. There you go. Bigger, bigger. Flip, flip. It's funny. That's funny. Okay, so it is working. So that is the native control. What we are essentially getting to is this rotate property. This is using animations, and it's only available on the native stack, on the native control, and it's not exposed to Blazor. But we are able to get to it if we reference that button in our code, and then we flip it programmatically. Okay. Now, can I do other things here? So, oh, we didn't really name that. So hold on. Let's say we add a reference here to, let's call it hello world text. Okay. Now let's see, Microsoft dot mobile Blazor bindings dot elements dot, is it label? Yeah. So hello world text, because the name's got to match up, otherwise we won't find the reference, right? Okay, so now let's see on our label, can we find the native control? Hello world text dot, yeah, look at that. Rotate rotate X, Y. No, I think I want to rotate X. Let's just do that. And yeah, 360 is fine. So it'll flip the whole text. Yeah. So now it should flip the text, hopefully. And then we'll flip it again to get it back. Okay, let's try. We don't debug. We just go straight without debugging, because my code always works, right? Let's see what it does. Okay, here we go. Flip. It is working. So okay, so X actually flips it on the X axis, so it's like this, right? What I was going to go for was like the Z axis, or the, no, that's not the Y, like the Z axis is what I'm looking for. Oh, it doesn't flip it anymore. Oh, because I'm not resetting the flip for the label. Okay, okay. What else can I do? So rotate, there's no Z.
Motion detected at the front door.
Yes, Alexa, I know you detect motion. By the way, we moved over the holidays. We got ourselves a slightly bigger place. Kiddo is growing up, and I've been into like smart homes and automation. So there are cameras and there are voice assistants all over. So there's a lot of like triggers and notifications throughout the day, unless I mute it, which I can mute it. There's a little Alexa show. And now she's waking up and wanting, no, Alexa, home.
Here's what I found.
Yeah, I didn't ask you to find anything. The fun of voice assistants. Okay. No, I think we'll keep the rotate X, and we just need to reset that. Hello world text dot native control dot rotation equals 0. Hang on, let me silence my Alexa here so it doesn't wake up over and over again. Okay, so yeah, so this is working. So hopefully this will flip the rotation, and then we can flip it again. Okay, flip. It doesn't see that it on this one it's doing a full flip, and it keeps on doing it on the button, but on the text it does it only once. Anyways, I mean that's beside the point. I mean it works. I don't know why it's not doing that multiple times or every time really. I don't know. But this clearly is working. This got a little clobbered, not sure why. I'm old school. Let me have my brackets and my open parentheses in different lines. There you go. Okay, so that's the whole thing. And I think if there is no native control, it will return a null. And it might return a null if the control doesn't have it, or yeah, and then if there are conflicts, you can figure that out. Okay. Now, do we expose it from our controls? I wonder. So let's see, which one is a native control? I thought we had a calendar. Maybe it's not listed here. I'm pretty sure we have a calendar that is a native control. So let me close out of this. I will come back to this because there are more native things I want to do. But let me open another solution, which I know has a bunch of other Blazor Mobile Binding wrappers that we have used. So yeah, this one is using examples. No, maybe we don't have the calendar yet. We have, oh, I was writing a wrapper for the calendar myself. Yeah, this one is a control which has a bunch of things. Let me go run this, not on the iPod Touch, on the Pro Max. This might take a while to build, maybe, or maybe not. Oh, maybe still thinking. It's building. And it's done. Oh, it's pretty quick. All right, so this one's a sample application, and you can actually find this in our GitHub repos. Or if you download it, you'll have the source code for this exact project that I am talking about. So like when I go to data grid, like this is actually a native control, but it's done through Blazor Mobile Bindings. Let me see which one of these is a native control. Because like some we actually draw with Skia Sharp. Is a button a native control? Busy indicator. I don't know. Maybe. Let's try. So this is the busy indicator. I got the right busy indicator here. All right, so let's try. So if I add a reference to this, red, busy, control. I am totally not sure if this will work, but we'll give it a try. Because I don't know if we would expose the native control like the way Xamarin is doing it in their little thing here. All right, close that. No code. This needs to be on the next line. See, I'm old school. Okay. This is coming from a different source. Obviously, it's not Microsoft. So let's see. Is it Telerik? Dot. Boy. That doesn't silence even if I put it on. Put the volume all the way down. I can snooze notifications. Oh boy, Xamarin Forms. Then, where is this coming from? Data viz? Probably not. No, it's gauges. I think it's common, barcode, data grid. I'm not sure. Animation, background, data. No. I don't know where this comes from. Hold on. Hold on. Let's look at, do we have an examples view? Here we are starting out. Okay, let's look it up. Okay, because what I'm not getting to is where it's coming from. The busy indicator overview. Where does it live? So it's got all of these options. Sure. What DLL is it living under? Common DLL. Oh, this may be a Skia sharp control. So this won't do what I'm doing. No, it's got no native control under the cover. So no. That doesn't work. Yeah. Okay, let's try what other control might be a native control? So border, busy, button. Does the button have a native control? Let me check. Button getting started. Common, yeah, this one is not Skia, so it has common input and data controls. Okay, okay. So let's go into the button. Where's the button? I don't have it open. Let's run this. So we have a button background, image, razor, alignment, started, getting started. Let's do this one. So here we have a red button. It says click me. It's got some border. It's got some hex. Let me take a look at this first. Come on. Button getting started. Click me. Yeah, so that is a button. It doesn't do anything. And it doesn't even look very fancy because it's not using all of the features that we have. Hey, BQ9, morning. Good morning. Good to see you again. Hope you had a good holiday season. And Happy New Year. Okay, so that's the button. Now, can I access that? Let me take a look at the namespaces. Xamarin Forms .common or .input, I think is where it is. Telerik .Xamarin Forms .input Right button, there you go. Okay, so we found it. Now let's take a look at the corresponding thing from Microsoft. So they're saying find that button and call it whatever, and that is going to be the name. Okay. Let's call it my button. Okay, and then we can refer to that button to say my button. Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody. Okay, that's it. So folks, if you're just joining me, I'm playing around today, just casually coding through some things that I am interested in. This is Blazor Mobile Bindings. This is how you build native or hybrid mobile apps using Blazor, the Blazor syntax. And what I'm interested in is like how native can you get if you're building a native app. Looks like there is a way in which like all of this is like layers and layers of wrappers, right? So you have the Blazor controls, which are sitting on top of Xamarin Forms controls, which are sitting on top of the native controls for iOS and Android. And looks like there's a way in which we can get to the native controls and have it do things that may not be exposed to Blazor. And so we saw that it works for the default Xamarin Forms controls. I'm trying to see like, does it work by default with like something that's custom, like Telerik controls, which I mean could be anything else custom, but I'm just curious. All right, so we got that, and when I click on this button, this is going to be the test. Do we expose a native control? Yeah, we can do async and await, but let's see if I say my button dot native. No, yeah, see, it's just not exposed, and this is our control. It's just something we have never considered exposing because it is a native control for iOS and Android. So I'll talk to my engineering team and let's see if I think most of the button's properties are actually already exposed through Blazor. So we just felt like there was no need for creating this. Let me take a look. But I mean, if we do have access to it, why not provide that access all the way up to Blazor? So I think if I look at the Xamarin Forms button here, these features of border, thickness, width and height request, so you can make the button look like whatever you want. All of these things are actually exposed to Blazor. So I just don't think we felt the need to expose the native control, but I'll talk to our folks and see if this is something we want to expose out in case anybody wants to do anything with animations that may be required, or that may be only available if you come down to the native level. So, okay, that's good to know. Let's do some more of the project that we were on. Let me save all of this and go back to the native Xamarin controls. And I think it was this one here, Blazor Mobile Bindings. Yeah. So, so far we had a button here that flips and it rotates. It rotates the button, rotates the hello world text, which only does it once for some reason. It doesn't do it every time. But that's okay. The other thing that I'm curious is this thing here, Xamarin Essentials, right? So if you are new to Xamarin Forms, for example, this is kind of the easy way now for you to get access to native APIs. So our phones are loaded with sensors, right? And you don't want to write Objective-C or like Java code to get to iOS or Android. You want to just write C#. And we had like Xamarin Components before, which was kind of an open source way of getting to those APIs. And this one is open source as well, but this one is just a little bit more owned by Microsoft and its engineers. This was my good friend like James Montemagno, David Ortno, those guys. So this is Xamarin Essentials, and it gives you access to some, let me open this up. I think it's like 30 plus APIs now. So take a look at this. Like, this is a long list, right? Accelerometer, apps, themes, battery, geolocation, a whole bunch of things that are completely native APIs for iOS and Android, and you have access to that from Xamarin Forms. Now, can I do that from Blazor as well? Because essentially we are stacking things up, right? So we are sitting on top of Xamarin Forms. Why should we not be able to do some of the things that Xamarin Forms does? So let's do that. Let me see if they have anything in the docs. No, they're just pointing into Xamarin Essentials, right? Okay. Let's pick something maybe that we know is a device-specific thing. What can we do? App information, app theme, clipboard, battery. What does the battery do? I'm on iOS. So the battery gives you a charge level, a battery state. Not super exciting. Connectivity will tell you how you're connected. Device display. So it tells you what mode you're on, width, height, density. Yeah, I mean that's pretty device specific, right? So I should be able to use that. And this should not be rocket science at all. But let me check in my dependencies. Yes, I know I have updates NuGet. I know I can update, but yeah, right there. That's Xamarin Essentials. That's all I need. I should not be needing anything else. Now this project, by the way, folks, like if you are playing around like I am playing, you can start with the Xamarin Forms project, right? And you can bring in the NuGet for Blazor Mobile Bindings. They can coexist. I think this is the one, right? So let me blow it up here. That mobile Blazor Bindings, that's what you need. And they have created one more preview after this. But you can also start from a template if you want. And that template happens to be sitting right here. It's not out there yet. It's like a preview. So do a dotNET CLI command and grab that template. So you can spin up a Xamarin Forms application with that Blazor Bindings thing kind of built in. So you have a project. That's how I started that project. So back on this, let me take a look. So if we are to get some device-specific info with Xamarin Essentials, can I do it? Using Xamarin Essentials, of course, you need that. So where can we do it? That's our home. Yeah, we can do it right here. It's just the code behind. And look at that, I already have Xamarin Essentials. Okay, so that should be all I need. So we can do the fetch. Let me see, main display, orientation, rotation. Why don't I copy paste all of it? Because that's how professional software developers roll. We copy and paste code. Don't tell anybody. Okay, so let's do this. There you go. Okay, so when I'm initializing this page, I want to get a bunch of things. So far, there are no squigglies, so it's not complaining. It's got Xamarin Essentials right there. So does it work? I can put a breakpoint here. Rebuild. And it builds. And start with debug, or with debugging this time. Yeah. Okay, there you go. So we hit the breakpoint. Now, moment of truth. Is it getting all the stuff? Main display info. Ooh, okay. Height, width, density. Okay, so it does get all of the things that we expect. And it's getting the orientation, it's getting the rotation. What's in non-public members? Yeah, just more of the same. So look at that, it gets everything. Orientation and the property portrait right there. So yeah, this is working. Okay. What else? This wasn't very exciting. We can get some device display info, geolocation, launcher, open browser. It lets you open a web link in the optimized system preferred browser or the external browser. Okay. So just like from your app, this is not like deep linking. This is where you can provide a link in your app, and then when users tap on it, you can open up the link in a different browser. Yeah, okay. Copy, 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 copy. Come down here. That's a separate class, right? Yeah, I don't know if we needed a full class for that, but okay, whatever. That's my namespace, so let's put it down here. Browser test. And it doesn't know what URI is. Really? Yeah, using system. How can I not have system? Apparently I don't. Okay. All right. Okay, so open browser. Yeah. Catch an exception, which is the broad catch that does everything. Okay. So now I can do, what is it called? Browser test. Yeah, this guy. We're going to call this, we're just launching it, right? So open this, new browser test, and it doesn't take anything else in the, no, that's just the generic initializer. And then I can go open this dot, what is it called? Right there, open browser. Okay, there we go. It takes a URI, so I can't do a string, but I can do a new, yeah, there you go, new URI, and in a string. Okay. How about I go to telerik.com? Yeah. What's this squiggly for? Visual Studio. Oh, it's awaitable. Oh, sure. Go on await. But I mean, I'm literally taking you to the other page, so there's nothing really to await on. Like, I'm not blocking the main thread. All right. All right. Let's run this. Oh. It's not good. Invalid URI. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, okay. I see. You think that it can figure out that it's a URL. Are you happy here? I can also give you the www if you want. Jeez. So it builds, and you see that launching thing. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Where's my... Where are my, like, happy emojis? There you go. I was able to open a URL. This is what computer science has come down to. No, it's working. It's working, right? So it opens our URL, and when you're done, it should come back to this thing, and I can still flip it. So fun. Okay. That is working. So what else? So I mean, what I'm trying to get to is, like, if you are building a native mobile app with Blazor Mobile Bindings, can you get to all of the native stuff that we normally are used to from a Xamarin Forms app? Let's see. Anything else that we want to try out? Let's see. Hang on. So, like, this is no different from writing a Xamarin Forms app, essentially, right? Because you are sitting on top of Xamarin Forms. Your syntax is just a little different. Anything else? Share, secure screenshot, references. I mean, these are all like fun APIs. Shall we do geolocation? It's always my favorite thing to try out to make sure it works. But yeah, I know it needs a few more things. So on iOS, you need to modify the info plist. Thank you for the follow, JSubs. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Where's my love sign? There you go. Hearts for you. Okay. So, I haven't done this in a while, actually, going back and changing the info plist, but there's that NS location when in use usage description. Like, geez, could you come up with a longer name? But that's a setting that iOS has to allow your app to be able to read the geolocation. Other than that, otherwise it will block it. Okay, so let's try. Where is my info plist? It's got to be in my iOS app, right there. Oh, Visual Studio actually gives you like a nice visual. And source application. Oh, what is this? Advanced? I don't know. I can just enter that, I suppose, or I mean, this is a JSON file. It's just giving you a visual for it. Okay, what is it called now? So that's the key we need. Add new entry. So let me add it. Add a row, okay. Okay, it's not letting me add it. Okay, add new entry. How do I add it? I'm double clicking on it. What? All right. I can just open this up. What happened? My music stopped? No, it's going. It's still going. Hex editor, property list editor. I don't want any of this. Just give me the file. Okay, let's go back. Where is my file? This is sitting here. Projects. It's just a JSON type file. Blazor Mobile was my project, and now it's sitting here in my CLI projects. Blazor Mobile. Okay, here we go. iOS info plist. Just give me the file. Open with other. I don't want Xcode. That's too heavy. Just give me Sublime. That works. There you go. That's what I wanted. Okay, now let's go back. Open the plist editor, add the privacy location property and fill in the value, or manually edit the file. That's what I'm doing here. Key and string. So I think I can just go down here. I hope I'm not going to mess up things by doing this physically or by hand. Okay, so iOS needs a reason as to why your app is using that location. So you can say, I will misuse this. Yeah, save. All right, go away. All right. Do I need to reload? No, it's just a file. It should pick it up. It should pick it up. So now, hang on, let's go back to what else we need to do. So using Xamarin Essentials, we got that. So we can do a try geolocation and just do that. Yeah, we'll copy the whole thing. And then we are reading the lat long. All right. My watch is saying, time to stand. No, I can't stand. I'm sitting, I'm streaming. No, I should not trash my watches. These are actually very good to keep track of your... what I try doing is hitting those three the three circles, which is exercise, standing, and movement. And if you can do half an hour of that every day, you're good. You're shooting for good heart health and fitness, hopefully. Okay, so we can try that. Let's comment this line out, because it kind of takes us, oops, not that, takes us off to a different browser. But I want to come down here. I'm adding probably too many things in here, but that's okay. I don't want any of these exceptions. I just want to see it work. If location is not on, all right. Don't we have a label that we can show? This one we called it hello world text. So I wonder if I can just show that hello, the lat long in that hello world text. Anyways, let's stick to this, just console write line for now. And does it build? Drink water. Okay, yes. There you go. Since I cannot fly, this is United's water bottle. Yeah, thank you, Beacon9. So the last flight I took was back in March, which has been weird. Like we traveled quite a bit for work. It's been weird, but thank you for the hydration suggestion. No, I mean, I know you can fly. It's just I got folks in my household who are maybe a little immunocompromised, so we definitely are not taking any risks. Hopefully by like this March, I should be able to get back to flying. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Okay, so it builds. There we go. So let's put a breakpoint. And right. I like that Twitch water bottle emoji. That's nice. All right, here we are reading that location, and I let it go. Where is my console? Oh, that's the package console. Is this the console? No, this is just loading assemblies. Errors? No. Tasks? No, it's a different thing. Is it something I'm missing? Toolbox? I don't know. Debug windows, other windows. I may have already missed it since like it happened before I opened it. Breakpoints, call stack, I don't know. Okay, we'll show it. I mean, the app worked. Oh, see that? That was a new property we added on the info plist. So it's saying, hey, this guy is trying to use your location. So allow once. And is it stuck? It didn't do the fetch. It's still trying to do the location somehow. I don't know. Okay, let's run it without this. Start without debugging. It is this application output should be the console log. It's not doing anything. Like it's stopping the fetch. Is it an exception? Okay, hang on. Let me see. Can I do this dot? Where's my text? Text equals. Syntax. No, not that. Let's say lat and plus, right? And if I can do location dot let, right? No, it's complaining about something, or maybe it's good. I don't know. Okay, let's first figure out what is it complaining about. Okay, oh geez, how do I write this? Like, how do I make it like it's a computed field? I don't want to do this, or maybe you do. No, but that's actually making it like a string. I don't want a string. Text should not be set outside of this component. What? You have a field that lets me set it. What do you mean? Does it build? It builds. Okay, let me see what it does. So what it's doing is actually, it's not fetching this, it's not coming down here. So it's giving me some errors. Oh yeah, the amazing Gino? Yeah, thank you for that. Where's my appreciation for you? Yeah. Where are my emojis? I'm slow today. There you go. Something. Alright. So, $sign. What else were you saying? Oh, put that whole thing inside. I see. Thank you. Like that? Yeah. There you go. So that should be it. All right, let's run it. Start to that debugging. Oh, the add at start. I missed the add at start. Hold on. It's giving me an error for probably, because that's the reason why it's not even doing the rest. But is it catching an exception here? Let's try. Start. It's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there, not even throwing an exception. What? So if I commented these two lines down, like if I were not to read these, will it still step down and do the fetch? So maybe the whole Xamarin Essentials support, like, I mean, you may need to go like property by property to make sure things work. No, what did I do? It's completely stopping even without it. What? Alright, take it off. The browser test was fine. Oh, now we are back. So it is something about the geolocation that's messing it up for some reason. I don't know. What about this do you not like? Is it the console line, right line, that it did not like? Okay, we'll try this one more time. Yes. No, it completely stops. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing in here that should really mess it up, and neither is it throwing an exception that we know. Okay, so maybe this one is not working. Not quite working here from Blazor Mobile Bindings. So I may have to go through this and like if I was to build a real app with Blazor Mobile Bindings, like make sure there are things that I'm using that are working. Flashlight, there's no way to kind of see this easily from the simulator. It's nice to see on our phones. Connectivity. You can try this. And it's just all that. So if there is internet, which means there is access, I think it returns that constrained, local, none. And the profile is what returns the Wi-Fi or not. And then you can have a method that sits, or a function which you can trigger. Like this is what we commonly do on mobile apps. Like if you notice that you're going between like Wi-Fi to like 4G, 3G, and then you can kind of like tone down things you're doing behind the scenes. Profiles, connectivity, let's do this. Because this should be on Wi-Fi, I think. So if we do have internet, can we say this dot hello world text dot text equals current dot, oh no, current is just a var, it'll have no idea. So hang on, I want to do this in the other one, like if I am on Wi-Fi, if profile contains this, what does it have? Connectivity, no, that's connectivity dot equals network access, we got that. What? No, don't go away. Give me my thing back. Connection profiles. What is connection profiles? It's enumerable. Contains Wi-Fi. I don't know. Let's just try. Just that. All right. Yeah, let's set a breakpoint there. Let's see what it does. So I think what I'm seeing is like not everything probably works as expected if you're doing Xamarin Essentials. So it may have maybe on a as needed basis, and we'll have to check. All right, so it is internet, so it is connected. All right, that's good. That's good. Profiles, and now this profile has what now? If the profile contains this Wi-Fi, yes, it does. Yeah. Oh, I should probably not be setting the. I keep setting the hello world text. Anyway, so this is bad because I think just the text property is probably not supposed to be set, because like the hello world text is referenced as a native control, and so it's not liking like this is not normal, like the way we are referencing the label here. Like if I gave it a name, that would be different, right? If I said, can I call it X name like we did? No. Hold on. Yeah, if you're a Xamarin developer, you know what I'm getting to. Like, how do I name a label if I wanted to? what are some of my properties? Attributes, bind. See, this is all like Blazor syntax now, so I'm not quite sure. Drag form ID. ID? Is it that? Can I refer to it as ID? I don't know. Can I do that? No, not my button, my label, maybe. There you go. Can I now refer to it as my label? No, it is not the ID. Yeah, it just doesn't know anything at all about that. Okay, never mind. This is Blazor, so I should not be forcing it to do the things I do from XAML. Like, even though these things look the same, like labels and buttons, like the way we are writing them in XML, this is not XAML. Like, we are filling up the visual tree with XAML-ish code, which essentially is Razor syntax for Blazor. Okay, so I thought about going an hour, so that's where about I am. So let's recap. So what I found today was, if we started with Xamarin Mobile Blazor Bindings, no, it's not Xamarin Mobile, it's just Blazor Mobile Bindings towards building native apps on top of Xamarin Forms. This stuff works. The native access control works if you are dealing with the default user interface controls, which is quite a few. Like, if I go look at the component reference, like, we have page components, layout components, views. So there's about like maybe 24 or so controls, and looks like all of those should expose the native control if there is one behind it. And then for Xamarin Essentials, it's a bit of a hit and miss, right? So I think when we started, we looked at probably 4 or so that worked, and then a couple where like geolocation never worked. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But the idea is these should work. So if you are again playing around with Blazor Mobile Bindings, it may have to be a little bit of a trial and error to make sure your Xamarin Essentials work like they're supposed to be. And then they have plenty of docs, and I'm sure if stuff doesn't work, we can also ping the Xamarin team to say, hey, how do we get this to work? All right, so that's all I wanted to try. Yeah. Now, let me take a quick look. Who else is on? Oh, Fritz is on. I can hand you over to Fritz because I think he was doing some Azure stuff. Now, what is the command? I'm drawing a blank. It's the start of a new year. Right. Jeez. I am drawing a blank on everything today. All right, hang on. So if I do rate Fritz, that should do it. Okay. But before I do that, folks who are watching me, I love you. Where are my icons? There we go. We love you all. Thank you for joining me here at Code It Live. Again, hopefully the stuff we had for last year is behind us and we are starting the year fresh. There may be still some negativity around, and there are things we can control, there are things we cannot, so we can just do the things that we can do. And for me, it was just getting the year started with live coding. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. And thank you all, and you should be heading over to C# Fritz soon. So thank you, and bye-bye.